Hey, what's up, guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to talk about blasting out of Tier 10 and merch by Amazon during 2021. You ready? Let's get started. So, this channel is all about using the online income opportunities from print-on-demand platforms like Merch by Amazon, Redbubble, Etsy, and things like that. Taking this passive income, investing it in things like the stock market, real estate, or things like that, and increasing our wealth and the financial freedom for ourselves and our families. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, blasting out of Tier 10 in Merch by Amazon is something that is incredibly important to me because I believe this is the best thing that Merch by Amazon has ever done for their platform, next to actually making it an invitation-only thing. And I believe that this is one of the best things that could ever happen to Merch by Amazon because it gets rid of the people who are not going to do the best that they can for the platform, and it's going to make Merch by Amazon a better place. Yes, the people who are terrible at designing and are only there for the money are there already, and they're creating designs and they exist, but eventually they'll get weeded out and hopefully fall away. But I believe that the Tier 10 situation that a lot of people are in is not something to be dreaded, but something to be embraced because this is a proving ground for you. This is when you get to their Merch by Amazon gets to put you in a situation where you have to persevere. You have to show that you are willing to do this and to stick it out and that you want to do this, because getting through Tier 10 is not that easy. It takes a little bit of growth in a lot of different ways to actually get out of Tier 10, because if you've been there for a while, you know that it sucks. You've only got one upload a day and you've only got 10 slots. So there's not much money to be made if you're in Tier 10. There are some people who are killing it in Tier 10, and one of the ways that we're going to talk about. But for the most part, it is a rough existence for people who are stuck here. And let's talk about how to get out of this existence and what you can actually do to put yourself in a better position. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is local merch. Local merch is something that was coined by Mike Gual, I think, and it is where you go to a local business in your area, tell them that you want to make them shirts that they can use to advertise for their business, and then use Merch by Amazon to put those shirts online for people to sell, and give the store owner a link to go to, send the customers to buy the shirt, and now you have people buying your shirts. This is great because you don't really have to do much. You can just get their logo, put it in a form that is acceptable for Merch by Amazon, put it on Merch by Amazon. The guy tells his customers to go here to buy this link to get some sort of special advertisement. And now you have a way to get out of Tier 10 because you're going to get sales and you're going to have designs to put up. So that is how you get out of Tier 10. Now, this is how I personally did it. I was someone who was stuck in Tier 10 for a while. I was looking at trends and things like that. Nothing really worked. And then I heard about Mike Gual doing this, and I was one of those people who was not very outgoing. I don't want to say I wasn't outgoing. I was a, relatable guy. I could talk to people and everything like that. And so it was hard for me, though, because I didn't know if I could do this because, like a lot of you, I have self-doubts about myself and what my confidence was. And it just wasn't something that I was super interested in doing. But this is where the difference is made. You have to make a choice. Is Merch by Amazon something worth pursuing to make yourself uncomfortable? If so, guess what? Local merch is going to be your best opportunity to make things happen. And the best way that you can do this is to let everyone know what you're doing. Local merch doesn't have to be just about businesses. I let everyone know what I'm doing. I let them know I've got an Etsy store. I let them know I sell stuff on merch. I let them know that I'm starting a Redbubble store to sell stickers and stuff like that. And guess what? A lot of people have ideas that they want to have printed and they want to be able to put on a shirt, but they don't know how. A lot of people have the desire to do this stuff and they just need someone to help them. And you are that extra puzzle piece for someone. You have the potential to be that person who can just connect the dots for the other person and benefit yourself in the process by getting out of Tier 10. So what I did was I started letting everyone know that I was designing shirts on Merch by Amazon. Yes, it's awkward. Yes, a lot of people ask questions, and no, I didn't have all the answers. Whenever they asked questions I didn't know, I just said, I don't know, man, this is just what I'm doing, and I want to be good at it, so that's where it is. And my buddy, who was an athletic trainer, he had high school kids that he trains for collegiate sports. He wanted to increase his branding, and he didn't want to have to buy a whole bunch of shirts and have inventory. So I said, hey, or he heard about what I was doing, and he was like, wait, so I don't have to buy the shirts, I don't have to store anything, and you'll put all the designs up for me? I was like, yeah. And he said, okay, that's it. And so he gave me the design he wanted on his shirt. He gave the link to the kids that wanted to buy it, and then the kids went and bought the shirt. And I did the same thing happen with a guy I know who's in construction. Guy was in construction. He needed shirts for his employees. He asked me to design like a left front pocket and a design on the back. I did it for him, gave him the link. He sent his people to buy the shirts. I mean, this is the most effective way to do it. And I know a lot of people don't want to do it because it is one of those things that makes you uncomfortable. And maybe you're not in a situation where you can design in this way. So this is the most effective way by far. But it is the one that's going to require the most growth. But, you know, like many things in life, the hardest thing that you do often yields the biggest rewards. Because, I mean, even to this day, I've got those local merch shirts that still sell. You know, my wife still sends me people, or people ask my wife what I do, and she tells them about this kind of stuff that I do on the side. And they ask if they can have designs done. I say yes, and then I make a little extra cash on top of everything else. But anyway, this is the most popular, most effective way to get out of tier 10. Now, I understand that there are people who are not in this situation. Most people outside the States aren't going to be able to do this. So this is another option. Your second option is to buy your way out. If you have the ability to buy your own shirts, then buy your way out. It is not a shameful thing to do. If I were to start a second merch account, I would likely buy my way out, or I would go with local merch all over again. So, and if you want to see me start my own or start a second merch account just to see how this process would work, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, I'd be more than willing to do that, because I feel like it is worth showing you guys that it is possible to do this, and it just takes work and letting people know what you're doing to actually, you know, put yourself in a position to get those people who need shirts done. Anyway, so buying your way out, that's another way to do it. Not very popular because it takes money. And if you're in a different country where the exchange rate isn't exactly great, like, you know, I was talking to a buddy who lived in Paraguay for a while, and he said that he made $700 a month, and that was it. But he had a pretty good lifestyle. So $700 a month, you're paying for a $15 t-shirt. Ugh, that's you know, a really good chunk of change for those people. So it is not always the most popular way to do it. So if you're in a different country and the exchange rate isn't at the point where you can buy shirts to get yourself out, and local merch isn't an option, guess what? There are plenty of people out there who have online businesses, and not all of them are the traditional online businesses. And we're talking about influencers. Like right here on this YouTube channel, there are tons of YouTubers out there who are building up a brand, and they would like to have some kind of merch to put out there for people. And if you can find up and coming YouTubers who are building an audience and want to give something to their audience to build their brand as well, then that is another way to do. It's like a local online version of local merch. And same thing can be done with Instagram. Go to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook groups, and things like that. Talk to these people online. Reach out to 20 people a day, and make sure you're putting yourself out there and letting them know that you can do this for them. You can design the product. You can put it on merch for them. All you do is send them the link, and all they have to do is send that link to their subscribers. And now their subscribers can get shirts. They don't have to keep in inventory or pay for anything, and everybody wins. You get out of tier 10. So this is another way to do it. I feel like this is the third most effective way to do it. And this is another great way to get out of tier 10. Yes, it is going to take more discomfort. It is not as uncomfortable as physically going up to someone and talking to them about selling shirts for them. But this is another way that you're going to have to put yourself out there, get out of your comfort zone, and learn how to sell a little bit. The good thing is, I believe in you. I have no doubt in my mind that you're capable of doing this. I have no doubt in my mind that you can do this, whether it's local merch or talking to people online. I have no doubts that you are a capable person who can convince someone to sell a shirt. It is not a great big sell because you're not asking for money from them or anything like that. You are fulfilling something that they might need. All you have to do is take the chance to be told no a few times, and if it works, then again, is the sacrifice of being uncomfortable for a little while enough to get you into a position where you can excel in merch? Because everybody knows once you get out of tier 10 and into tier 100 and things like that, then you are just going to grow exponentially from there, and the doors open wide open and you are able to truly succeed in merch. So is that opportunity worth the uncomfortable feeling of talking to people or putting yourself out there? If you want to be more comfortable, then you're probably not going to do well in merch. If you're willing to do something that makes you uncomfortable, you are very likely going to do very well in merch. So I believe in you. I know that you can do it. And I know that once you make it through, you're going to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you know. So what can you do in the meantime, though, while you're waiting? Because getting out of tier 10 isn't exactly, an overnight process, because Amazon doesn't really, especially now, this is being filmed December 18th during Q4, so they're not exactly focused on getting people out of tiers. They're more focused on making shirts get out on time. So in the meantime, if you're in one of those phases where merch is slow and they're not exactly tiering people up, then what can you do? And what should you be doing anyway, regardless of if you're in tier 10 or tier 8,000? You should be designing. You should not be sitting on your hands waiting for yourself to get tiered out of tier 10 or tier 20 or tier 100. You should be living as if you are tier 8,000 right now and you need to fill 200 slots a day. That is the approach that you need to have, because once you get out of tier 10 and you start getting into those larger tiers, you can just crank up those uploads and you can get your cash flow up really fast if you do it that way. You should not be living as if you're just waiting to get out of tier 10 to become better at this. You need to be becoming better while you're waiting. Do not wait for this opportunity to come to then rise to meet it. Rise to meet the opportunity that you're wanting. Act like you're in tier 8,000 right now. Have the mindset of someone who is already tier 8,000 and you're already designing and you're doing the research and you are focused on being the best and having a 6-figure income. This is what you need to be doing. It is not enough to just sit on your hands and hope and pray and just do enough to get out of tier 10. Because if you're just doing enough to get out of tier 10, you're going to be just doing enough to make it by after this. You need to start setting the standard that you are getting to higher places than where you are and where you want to be. This is why I love tier 10. It is a proving ground and it really tells a tale of what the future of your merch journey is going to be. So that is my advice on tier 10. How to get out of tier 10 and what you need to be doing while you wait in tier 10, because you need to be improving while you wait. Your skills in Merch by Amazon are not going to come naturally most of the time, and you need to improve your skills and your design skills especially while you're waiting, so that once you get into the position, like we said, to actually start uploading a ton of designs, you're able to crank out high quality designs that are going to sell, and you know you've done the research and you know that there is a desire for what you want. So anyway, I hope this helps. I feel like this was kind of a rant. I'm someone who loves to grind and I love hard work. And I mean, that's why I started this YouTube channel, because it's not easy work doing this YouTube stuff. And it's still rewarding though. I love it. I love doing this. I love being on merch, and I love the fact that other people are willing to grind and get out of tier 10. I hope that this helps. Please let me know in the comments below if this does help, or if you're scared and need someone to tell you that you can do it. I will be your cheerleader. I will be the person who will tell you that you are fully capable of anything you set your mind to, and I believe in you 100%. Anyway, remember, someone's gonna do something amazing every day, guys. Why not you? See ya.